I'm in it just to rewrite history, cause I'm in the mood to label us the leaders of the new school. This ain't for the radio, can't find this on YouTube. This the type of killing that these critics ain't used to. Victorious, victorious, victorious. In this day and age, I got time for innovation, time to be creative, time too big to waste on my time on critics hating, flattered by your opinions to show you I'll just embrace it. Now watch a early sunrise up, no daylight savings, go nuts when I have to. Glaze back my sound in this beats on the house that we dreaming. Watch me way back up in the gas when my thoughts are distorted, cause I recall guys were hating uncommonly, all of them became common denominators.
Hey everyone, so this is going to be a new series about CrossFit. You might be new to CrossFit, you might be wanting to start CrossFit. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know in order to start, and also while you're beginning, like all of those funny things that you find like quite difficult to understand in the first couple of months of CrossFit too. So I'm going to go through all of that. I have just finished CrossFit sessions, so if you see me waving my hands around and you see how muddy they are, it's because of that. We had a lot of devil press, which is essentially like a burpee, and then you like snatch a dumbbell overhead. I will go over what a snatch is in a minute. Yes, I'm a bit tired. I just love it so much, and on the way home I was thinking about how I want to get more people into it that really want to do it, because I know that there's so many people out there that want to try it but are really worried about starting. So this is for you. The main thing that people ask is, what do I need to do to get ready? Can I like physically prepare myself for CrossFit? And the answer is essentially nothing. The best people, the people that get the most out of CrossFit, are the people that just turn up no matter where you are right now. And if you want to know more about that, I started CrossFit when I was 18 stone. I was morbidly obese and I had never done like a burpee or anything like that. I could barely get myself up off the floor. I couldn't do a run. Like, my coach physically pushed me over my first mile, like literally from behind pushed me. It's infinitely scalable for all abilities. You don't need to be good, you don't need to be strong. And I know a lot of people get super intimidated walking into the gym for the first time, and they see all these people that look super fit, like doing pull-ups and like lifting barbells that have seemingly massive weights on them. But honestly, they were all beginners once. Like, they all started and they couldn't do a pull-up, like they couldn't do a press-up, they couldn't lift the barbell. So we've kind of got to drop the assumptions that I think a lot of people think everyone's an expert and that they've all had this natural talent that they could lift barbells forever. That's not true. Like, it's all a learnt skill. It all takes a while to pick up, and you've got to give yourself the chance to pick it up. Don't think that you have to lose a load of weight or deadlift or squat a load before you start, because you don't. You can literally start tomorrow and you'll be fine. The coaches should guide you through it, and there will be loads of other people in there that are starting at the same point as you, honestly. Also, nobody is going to judge you. I think we have this idea, especially if you've been to like a Globo gym before, that people are going to be looking at you and they're going to be like judging you on what you're doing. But CrossFit gyms are not like that. It's like the rules of CrossFit that you have to be nice to each other, and that it's all like a really inclusive community. And because we've all come from that beginner perspective, we've all been beginners, we know how scary it is to walk into the gym, and we're all super supportive. And as soon as I spot someone that's like super nervous or like they've just come in, I make sure that I'm welcoming and greet them and like chat to them about how nervous I am about the workout. Sorry, the seagulls. Just talk to someone when you walk in and it'll probably make you feel more comfortable. And if you're super anxious, like message ahead, like talk to the coach, say, hi, I'm super anxious about coming in, can I come in for a chat like 5 minutes early or something, just to get you through that door. And then be brave for 5 seconds and just walk through that door. Don't think about it. Don't sit in your car for ages like egging yourself on to do it. Just go, right, I'm going in, I'm leaving now, and just walk through that door. You won't regret it, honestly. Now I'm gonna go through some of the acronyms that we throw around. I've got a meme somewhere. It can feel a bit like this.
What?
You look at the whiteboard and you're like, I have no idea what that means. First, we've got WOD and Metcon. WOD is workout of the day, and Metcon stands for metabolic conditioning. They both basically mean the same thing, so they both are just another word for a workout or whatever workout we're doing that day. EMOM is every minute on the minutes. That means you do a movement every minute on the minute for however many minutes they've set. AMRAP means as many rounds or reps as possible. So you would do a workout, you say you'd have 7 or like 20 minutes, and you'd have to do as many reps of all of the movements as you can within that time frame. So a chipper is like chunks of different movements. So maybe you'd have like 20 squats, 30 push-ups, 40 deadlifts, and it would go up like that, and you would literally just chip through each chunk. So once you've done the 20 squats, you wouldn't circle back to do any more squats, you just do that chunk, you just chip through that chunk. That's hard to say. So you get workouts that are like 21, 15, 9, and that's the rep scheme. So you'd usually have like 2 movements in that workout, and Fran is a really good example, I'll get to that in a minute. 21 thrusters, 21 pull-ups, 15 thrusters, 15 pull-ups, 9 thrusters, 9 pull-ups. So that's how the workout works. So if someone's like, oh, it's a 21, 15, 9, that's what they mean. It's just another format of workout. So Fran, I just mentioned, that's one of the girls, and I'll put a thing up on the screen. So there's loads of girls workouts, and these are benchmark workouts, which are workouts that stay the same. So in CrossFit, basically every session is different. They throw in lots of different movements so that you really work your whole body and don't really focus on one thing for too long. Like, they change up really regularly so you don't get bored, and it also gets you fit really quickly. But we do have some workouts that we do repeat, and they're called benchmarks. So the girls are an example of that, and those are things that we can measure ourselves against other people. So some people will be like, what's your Fran time? Or like Linda is another one of my favorites. So that's deadlifts, cleans and bench press. There are lots of them. And then we've also got hero WODs. Now you've probably heard of this. 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, 1 mile run, and that'll take you about an hour, maybe a little bit less if you're really good. And you can do it in 2 different ways. So you can do it like chunked up into sections, or you can do it the whole thing in one go, like a chipper style. So you would do it in the order that I said it. So there are loads of hero workouts, and they're all in honor of people that have died at war, or basically fallen servicemen and women. I'm not sure if there are women actually. But yeah, fallen service people, they're really cool. And Murph we do as a CrossFit community every year, or a lot of people do if your box is one of those that puts it on. Obviously CrossFit started in America, so a lot of them are Americans, and now CrossFit has gone so global that it is a little bit different. And a lot of CrossFit gyms in the UK don't necessarily do Murph, because we are a little bit more detached from like the American armed forces obviously, but it's definitely something that they do. And I think there was an Englishman added a couple of years ago, but there's other workouts like Chad, I've done that one, that was a benchmark. Yeah, loads of them. So RX, which you'll see on the board, or loads of people are like, oh, I RX'd it. That means as prescribed, and it's actually taken from doctors' terminology. So they'll write RX, which means prescribed, on forms and stuff. So that's where I believe it was taken from. So you get the prescribed weights. The workout I did today, the prescribed weights were a 30 kilo dumbbell for men and a 22.5 kilo dumbbell for women. Obviously every gym varies on what weights they prescribe for certain things. The prescribed weights are the same for all the benchmark workouts. So for instance, DT, which is a hero workout, you would always do that with the same weight for men and for women. However, different gyms will have different RX weights depending on how they program, what kind of strength their athletes they have in the gym, all of that. There's lots of different variables. So that is the intended weight that they would like you to do if you're capable of RXing, but you don't have to be. There are many people that do CrossFit for a very long time and never RX a workout, and that's okay. If it's not your goal to do that, then you don't ever have to do that. It's just that that's the set weights for somebody that is like potentially competitive, or like it's essentially like a limiter. Like you wouldn't go above that weight because that would be too much and it would change the stimulus completely. If you can't do the RX weight, then the coach would suggest a weight that you would do instead, and a weight that's more suiting to your ability, or they would suggest to you that you go off a percentage of something, they would help you out. So you're not expected to do those weights, but that's what RX means. RX means this is how the workout is intended to be done if you can RX. So this is one of the things that people really get confused by, especially in the first few months of CrossFit, and they're like, I don't know the difference between the Olympic weightlifts, between the one that's like that and the one that's like here and then overhead. I'll put an image up. This is a snatch. It goes from the floor straight to overhead in a squat position, and you don't rest it on your shoulders in between. That is a snatch, and that will be the lighter of the two lifts, so you won't be able to do as much as you can do on a clean and jerk. This is a clean. The clean goes from the floor to your shoulders. You can power clean or you can squat clean, and it's the same with a snatch. You can squat clean or you can power clean. I've confused that now, haven't I? Power clean means that you don't go down into a squat, and a power snatch means that you don't go down into a squat. But a squat snatch, or just a snatch, would mean you would normally squat down with the bar overhead, and a squat clean you would squat down with the bar in a front rack position. So the clean and jerk come together. So a clean, you clean it to your shoulders and then you jerk it into the overhead position from the front rack on your shoulders. So the difference between the snatch and the clean and jerk is that the bar would rest on your shoulders in between when you do a clean and jerk, and the clean and jerk will be heavier than your snatch. I hope that makes sense. There are lots of different variations on cleans, snatches, jerks. I'm not going to go over them. If you get stuck, then the coach will explain it to you. Like, there's like a hang clean, and that's just from another position on your body. Like, you basically don't take it from the floor, you take it from just above your knees. So, and each of those is just to train a different part of your technique, and there's a purpose behind it. If you're stuck, always ask your coach and ask for a demo, and watch somebody else doing it before you attempt it, and then you'll know which one you're doing. But it is super hard to get those into your head over the first couple of months, because they all feel super weird, like really technical, and you don't know where your body is in the space, and it's so hard, but you will get there, I promise. It's difficult, but you'll get there. And the main thing is to focus on the effort you're putting in, and that if you keep going at it and you keep asking for help and you keep listening to the advice and really trying hard to improve, then you will get there eventually, and you will lift what you want to be able to lift. You've just got to persist and push through that uncomfortable stage of learning something new, because it is hard, but you will get there. So other lifts you might see, which you might have seen in other sports and basically general fitness training, is deadlift, squats. Now you would do like front squats and back squats. So front squat is with it here, back squat is with it behind your back. You would also bench. You would do something called push press or strict press, which is from the shoulders overhead. You don't need to know all of these. Your coach will take you through each of the movements while you're there, and they often will demo. If there are people in the class that haven't done it before, then they will demo the movement before you do it. In fact, I would say more often than not, they demo anyway. They will give you pointers to work on for that session. So you literally don't need to remember all of these things. Like, I'm sure some of you are probably taking notes, but you don't need to. They will explain it to you. CrossFitters and CrossFit coaches are really supportive, and they will explain it to you in the class. And there's other things like handstand push-up is sometimes abbreviated to HSPU. Double unders are abbreviated to DU. T2B means toe to bar. C2B means chest to bar, and pull up would sometimes be abbreviated to PU. Box jumps would be abbreviated to BJ, and obviously that gets a few laughs. Dumbbell is abbreviated to DB sometimes. So I've gone over snatching with a barbell, which is where you obviously use both arms, but dumbbell snatches is something that I did today. I'll put up a little clip. So that goes essentially from the floor. You touch the floor with it overhead, but with one arm this time, and I would say that is slightly easier to do than snatching with a barbell, and it's less technical, or it feels less technical for me. Other people might find it harder. Everybody's different. You also don't squat unless it is a squat snatch, which is quite rare with dumbbells. Often it would just be like a normal snatch with a dumbbell. Oh, and there's another movement called a thruster, which is just death on a stick essentially. It's like so you go down into the squat and then come up and press it out overhead, all in one fluid movement, so kind of like a clean and jerk but all in one go. I think in the general fitness community they call it squat thrusts or something. They're horrible. I really like them like heavy. I like to do like a 1 rep max thruster, but I don't like them the rest of the time. But as I said, you don't need to know all of these lifts, you don't need to remember all of them. They will teach you, and always ask for help if you're stuck. Don't be scared. I know that's easier said than done, but like, they are used to people asking for help, and in order to get better you need to be comfortable in asking somebody to help you figure out something that you're struggling with, because there's so many things within CrossFit. It is difficult, but I'm making it sound bad here. It's so worth it. It's so much fun. It's so exciting. Honestly, I did my first session and fell madly in love with it. It was the day before New Year's Eve and I came back the next day on New Year's Eve, funnily enough, and trained again because I enjoyed it so much. And I'm not a gym person, I've never been a gym person. Like, there was no way in hell I was ever going to walk into like a regular gym. They were so intimidating and so scary. But the thing that drew me to CrossFit is it had that like adrenaline fueled like fun, and it's got a community and there are no mirrors, nobody's judging you, they're all just lovely and supportive and cheering each other on, and like a lovely friendship group. And there's no like rigid gender roles, that you don't have to do things the way people expect you to. Like, you don't have to just like train booty and abs or whatever. It's just about lifting weights. You're all doing the same thing. Everybody's super supportive, and obviously you get to wear whatever you want. And yeah, we do wear some mad things. I fell completely in love with it, and I was honestly competing within the first 2 months. But that's not something you ever have to do. You don't ever have to compete. There are plenty of people that never compete and never want to. They just do it for general fitness, for fun, and for just keeping them fit and healthy, and that's totally valid as well. So I'm going to give you a few tips to prepare for your first session. Make sure you eat a banana or something with carbohydrates in it before you go. Fuel up, because you're going to need that energy. I don't want you like not eating enough. It's important you eat enough to do CrossFit. Like, I understand that some of you might be doing it to lose weight, but make sure if you are doing that, shift your calories around so you can have enough before you train, because you don't want to be halfway through that workout and your blood sugar dropping. Hydrate enough, like make sure you've got a lot of water on you. Bring a bottle of water, that's really important. And for the first few weeks you will be quite sore, and there is going to be a point where you'll have to train while you've got soreness, like delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS, which people will call it. Honestly, it does get better after the first few weeks. I found for me, like, pushing through the 6-week period was hard, but after I got through that it was fine, and you start to get less and less sore, which is really good. You start to recover a lot faster. It won't take too long. Remember, when you walk in, they're not experts. They started exactly where you are, and it's totally scalable for your ability. You have absolutely got this. You can do it. I believe in you. You can walk into that gym. Go for it. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any more questions, but I want to do more of these videos. They're going to be added to a playlist if you want to know more about CrossFit and find out more about how to get into CrossFit. I've also got loads of vlogs of me doing actual CrossFit too if you want to watch that. So please check out the rest of my channel and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope you found it helpful. I will see you in the next one because there's going to be loads of these. Bye, guys.
Don't know how much I've already been through. You don't know the place I'm coming from. I've been high, I've been low, fought the demons in my soul.